Hello everybody, here we are again at my house, hacking our way through another DIY high-performance pizza oven. So we're going to show you how to regulate the heat, the different phases of the fire, where the heat's going, and I'm going to do that by showing you how to cook a whole bunch of stuff that's not pizza. Handful of recipes, really nice stuff. Last time we showed you how to basically make your very own high-performance pizza oven and a Neapolitan style pizza. You know, basically less than like $30 or $50, less than 30 minutes, stacks up, breaks down. Check out the video if you haven't seen it. It's amazing. Since then, there's been a lot of comments, a lot of interest, both on ChefSteps and basically all across all our channels as well. And there's been a common theme, which has been, how do I regulate the heat? How do I get the temperature right? How do I get the heat right? And I told you in the first video, it's a hot rod. It's hard to drive. Like, it's not just like turn it on, turn it off kind of thing, right? It's a hot rod, okay? So if you want to get a pizza oven that's like precise, get a Pizziola, or get a PID-controlled giant, amazing $5,000, $10,000 oven or something. This is not a precise machine. You know, it's gonna take a Renegade to drive it. It's a hot rod. But I'm gonna show you how to drive it. Hot rod oven, high performance oven. High performance steak. This is serious stuff. I'm not just gonna throw it in. I'm gonna be calm and patient about this. If you've ever cooked a steak real traditional with maybe like a charbroiler or a high temperature oven, everything's the same here. Except for when you have a wood-fired oven, you just wanna time the burn of the fire well. I don't wanna have to add fresh wood in the middle of cooking the steak. So, what I'm gonna do is, got my heavy cast iron pan. This is a carbon steel pan, you know, one of those French Matfer carbon steel pans. A Tomahawk, a big steak like this, 2-pound steak. It's got a lot of thermal mass. So a good preheat is gonna be a great thing. It's gonna go a long way. So I wanna put that steak in and hear like a really good sear. This is like the non-science test. Not loud enough. I want it like, sometimes you get it so preheated, it's like that smoke. And that won't last long because this isn't like a super thick pan. It's a thinner carbon steel pan. So the thicker your pan too, you want to get a lot more preheat in there because it's gonna hold on to heat, but it's gonna take a lot more time to recover too. Tempering a big piece of meat is just part of the cooking process. So if we got a big hunk of steak like this, leaving it out for a couple hours, at least an hour, to bring the temperature, internal temperature and surface temperature up a bit is part of the cooking process. You know, we're raising the temperature of the meat. That way when I go in the oven, the center of this thing isn't 40 degrees Fahrenheit, it's 70 degrees Fahrenheit or whatever it is out here right now, you know? So I'm just gonna put this probe in here, right under the surface just to look at it. It's 62 degrees, right? That's a good thing right now. If I took this out of the fridge and I saw that, I'd be like, holy smokes, my fridge is broken. I'm worried, everything gross. I don't know how long it's been. But this came out of the fridge an hour ago and it went from 40 to 60. So the whole basic idea there is the meat's already cooking, you know? So that's gonna help with that evenness. So I'm not just like hammered on the outside and raw in the middle. You can still get that nice even blush throughout, okay? I would say this guy's preheated. Oh yeah. I can trim off some of that fat and throw bits of fat in there and get some oil going. But I'm gonna do a little sear here anyways. So right now you can see I'm going from a dry pan, especially with beef. Beef fat loves seasoning your steel pans and your carbon pans. Now I got a nice oily dark carbon pan. Oh yeah. First step. So easy. Hear that? That's a good thing. So like I'll flip this guy. So now that back will face the oven. So that was the back of the oven then, you know? So you just gotta kind of go back and forth. Now the other side's hitting the back. I love if I'm gonna have a steak or, you know, this is for 2, 3, 4 people. So I love even just having like a whole gooey, roasty head of garlic per person too if they want it, you know? And if they don't want it, I'll want it. Or I'll put it in a jar in the fridge for later. I like to just maybe do like not even a third off the top. Just like that, you know? Oh yeah. Seems gross, but you see this juice and stuff coming out of the bone here? That's a big indicator that your joint down here is getting nice and hot, which is a good thing. Like this steak's cooking. So this bone, you know, like bones are a spongy kind of tube. This guy's heating up and it's putting pressure out of here, it's boiling out of there. Give him a little flip. I'm gonna get my garlic in here. It's already looking good, huh? But this is a big steak. And it's gonna take a little while to cook. Yeah, so we're still in the center, we're still 61 degrees. So with the high heat though, the other thing we're gonna do, and just think about this, like you can obsess about the oven temperature, but at the end of the day, you don't care about the oven temperature, you care about your food temperature. So I don't really need to measure the oven temperature, I need to watch the food. That's where a probe comes in handy though, you know? Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I've got this steak here, it's cooking, it's beautiful. I wanna cook this fat and that thick part a bit more than this thin part. And remember, a lot of that heat is coming out the back of the oven. So I'm just gonna wrap this bone, not just to make it pretty, but you know, if I shove that back there, because it's dry, it'll burn and carbonize before that meat gets cooked. You think a bone's not gonna get overcooked, but it'll burn and break apart even on you, you know? So this is dry, there's not a lot of water in there protecting it. So I'm gonna see what I can do to try to shove that back of that fat facing the back part. And that's it. Like if I had x-ray vision and I'm looking down the oven, the bottom's pretty hot, the top's really hot right now because there's fire rolling over it, but this back part of the oven is like, that's full on fire. That's like 1200 degree fire right here, and the front's, you know, 700 degrees. So it might be like twice as hot in the back. I'm just trying to get that fat roasted, trying to get that thick part cooked. Now, I'm gonna throw some butter in here. This is like the naughty part. Older. I'm gonna throw some herby herbs, all fresh herb from the garden. Jardin. Oh yeah, dude. Hurts my heart to think about it. It's so pretty. This is old school cooking in the sense that, you know, like high heat, racing to get that perfect temperature. So it's gotta rest. Rest. You wanna pull it. The hotter you're cooking, the faster you're cooking, the sooner you wanna pull it, the more runway, the more carryover cook you wanna give it. I can still let these garlics hang out though. These guys can cook. Tomahawk has been resting. Whenever I order a ribeye, even a really, really good one, and like lots of good steak places, people go like, oh, rare. I'll never order a tomahawk or, you know, a ribeye. Rare, especially medium rare. I'll even like, I think medium often for something like a ribeye. Because what that medium is gonna do is gonna like break down that fat even more, break down that connective tissue a little bit more, and it's going to eat tender. And again, people think confuse doneness with tenderness. It's not the same thing. Sometimes cooking a little bit more is going to be a much tender, even juicier eating steak. So I'm gonna cut it, butcher this up, and I'm gonna put it back in my pan. Epic oven, epic tomahawk, you know? It's a game changer. If you're gonna build one of these things, highly recommend cooking all sorts of stuff in it, not just pizza. 5 things that aren't pizza with your pizza oven. I really want to eat it.
We can do our wrap up with this.
I really want to eat it.
Before you eat it, can I get some shots of it?
Yeah, I guess.